Well, I'm going to give you an idea on storing some diesel fuel. Now, this probably wouldn't be a good idea for storing gasoline unless you change this apparatus I made here on my filler neck. This is actually a tank from a boat, and you notice it sits in here. That's how it would sit under the hull. Now, it's all aluminum. It's all seamlessly welded. It doesn't leak. I made this from some Lowe's parts, you know, the elbow fitting. It's got a big old, you know, thing here to probably, there it is, you know, inline makes it work, right? That's what makes you able to open it up. Plus it's got a cap on here, sealed, right? I sealed the vent up already, and this was your fuel sending unit. Now that could be pretty handy too. You might want to have a fuel gauge with this. You can actually have a fuel gauge with it, but you need a little battery or something with a solar thing to, you know, operate the gauge or have it hooked into your house electric. But this thing was cheap. I forgot what I paid for it, but it was, I don't know, $50 or some crap like that. And you can't get something like this in Lowe's or Wally World or whatever, or Home Depot, for the amount of fuel capacity it has, because it's got 60 gallons in here, and it's all aluminum. It's not plastic. It's never going to rust. This is the mounting brackets for the boat. Now, this thing's sitting on a little trailer. You can see it's a little utility trailer. And if you wanted to, you weren't really supposed to be doing this, but it's got baffles in it. So, I mean, if this one was full in a boat with diesel, and you're driving it down the road, it's legal. If it's bolted to a utility trailer, I don't know if it would be legal or not, but I don't think it would be unsafe. Because if you had it strapped down and you had like wood bracing up under here on the bottom, like that, you can see the wood was bolted to the plywood on the bed of the 5x8 trailer, the 4x8 trailer. Well, it's actually a 5x8. It fits, you know, it's a 4x8 piece of plywood on it, but it's a little wider than that, just a hair, because of the rails and stuff and the fenders. But you know, it wouldn't go nowhere. And what I would do is I put a tarp over it so nobody questions shit. As long as your lights are working, your tires are good, your safety chains on the front and all that stuff like that, I don't think anybody would question you. And with diesel fuel, it's not really anywhere near the category of gasoline. Now this thing could actually work for gasoline too, but you wouldn't want to have something like this as the filler. You want to have something that's steel or something, or aluminum, that's more secure than this rubber. But that's fine what I have here for diesel fuel. But the thing is, this thing holds 12 times what this little guy holds. Okay, and that little guy cost me about $10, I think, or something like that in Wally World. So that plastic thing will also give you a lot more trouble, and will last nowhere near as long as that. That is much stronger, a lot more capacity, no rust. You can leave it out in the sun, you can leave it out in, you know, snow, rain, whatever the hell it is. It's not going to affect the aluminum. It's all seamlessly welded. It's very strong stuff, man. It's pretty heavy gauge. You know, I don't know if you quite stand on the middle of it, but you could definitely stand on the corner of it. You can see how these welds are. So that's something to look for. I got this off of Craigslist, and Craigslist can be your friend for some of this prepping stuff. Now I want to show you something else I got off of Craigslist for fuel storage, and it's another great idea because you know, the channel is American Russian survival, right? So I'm going to tell you, fuel storage is very important, because even though you might have all the freaking solar panels in the world, you might have all the firewood in the world, you're probably going to need some diesel fuel or some kind of gasoline for something. There's always power chainsaws or whatever. Now, like I said, this could work for gasoline too, but you don't want to have something rigged up like this with gasoline. This is okay for diesel, and that's, you know, diesel is not like gasoline in the safety requirements by any stretch of the imagination. But I'll show you something else I picked up from a old farmer for $100. Just barely fit on my El Camino. Okay, you can see the cord and stuff like that. This actually This actually plugs in. It's an actual pump. When you plug it in, turn it on up here. That turns it on. That turns it off. And then you have that. It works like just like a gas station. And it's a big old tank. It's this guy right here. See it? That thing just fit on the back of my El Camino. And with the tailgate down. It was actually taking up the tailgate. It's a big old tank. See it? And holds a lot of gallons of diesel. You wouldn't use this for gasoline because I don't think, you wouldn't want to use this for gasoline, but it's good for diesel. And this was $100. And the thing works. You plug it in. I fill up my little yellow jugs, and I'm all set using the Perfection 15 feet or 50 heater for heat. For a while, then after I use those jugs up, I fill up a few of those jugs again, and from here. So this is like a storage tank, and it's got the additive in it that will keep this stuff preserved for many years. You just keep putting the additive in it. So that's another idea. This is off of a farmer. So I keep it all covered up in here so nothing gets screwed up. It's out of the weather, and it's camouflage and all that kind of shit, and that's really what you want to do. So if shit goes down, I got plenty of fuel to last for generators and heat. So, but you want to keep it out of sight, out of mind. But this, if I bought this new, I don't know what the hell it would cost. A couple $1,000s. It's $100 off of a farmer. And he even lifted it up with his tractor to put it on the back of my El Camino, and he drained it before he put it on the back of my El Camino. So there you go. And I painted it all up and all this kind of shit, rust proofed it, set it up on some concrete blocks and kept it out of the weather. So like I said, there's the pump right there. Just like a gas station, man. Just like a gas station. And you just plug it in. That's all you do. As soon as you plug it in, you flip the switch on the top, you fill it up just like a gas station. So, look around in some of the used stuff on Craigslist is the stuff to get.